The Charlottesville Tom Sox dropped a heartbreaker last night in Harrisonburg, but look to bounce back tonight on Christmas in July and host Family Appreciation Night at Show Airport Field. Good evening, everybody. Welcome in to this presentation of Tom Sox Baseball on Tom Sox TV. I'm Nathan Schwartz, joined by Gianni Maltese once again. And Gianni, two teams that seem to be trending in opposite directions. Newmarket dropping 9 of its last 10. Charlottesville had a little bit of a hot streak, but sputtering as of late.
At first base.
Charlottesville 8-2 in their last 10, and Newmarket comes into this one 1-9 in their last 10. As you mentioned, they're actually riding a 5-game losing streak. So Charlottesville will look to right the ship under Perkins here on the mound.
Yeah, Mark Perkins on the mound tonight for Charlottesville. The last time we called the game together, it was Perkins on the mound for the Tom Sox. Mark making his 6th appearance of the season tonight. It'll be his 5th start. That last start was 6 days ago against the Covington Lumberjacks. He went 4 innings in that one, gave up 3 hits, no runs allowed, did walk 1 batter, but struck out 5 and on the season, an ERA just north of 1 at 103.
Looking for a lot more of the same today if the Tom Sox want to have a chance to start a new winning streak here and at home at Show Airport Field.
And let's go through this Newmarket Rebels lineup. Leading off the third baseman, Dante Posey. In left field, it'll be Luke Smith batting second. Batting third, it'll be the right fielder, Jude Drizmecki. In the fourth spot, what a name, Elrico Riley. He's the DH tonight. Jackson Kramer, the center fielder, he bats fifth. Noah Lucas, the first baseman, is in that sixth spot. Carlos Irizarry will be the shortstop and bat seventh. Garrett Warden is behind the plate for the Rebels, batting eighth. And Drew Sassaman is at second base and rounding out that Newmarket lineup in the 9th spot. As for the Charlottesville defense, Salvi Alvarez will be behind home plate. Derek Williams returns to the lineup after missing last night. He's at first base. Bryce Martinez and Kyle Edwards, the duo up the middle at second and shortstop per usual. Henry Ford goes back to third base after starting at first last night. And then in the outfield, left to right, it'll be Brady Gumpf, Sergio Rivera, and David Wiley. Tom Sox coached by Lyndon Coleman. His 3rd season coaching in the Valley League, his first for the Charlottesville Tom Sox. Tom Sox entering this one 18-9. That second game of the doubleheader on Sunday has been finalized. It was suspended for most of the day yesterday, and then this morning it was finalized as a Tom Sox victory. So that was win number 18 on the season for the Tom Sox. So they've now lost 2 out of the last 3 games. They dropped game 1 of the doubleheader against Winchester on Sunday, and then that 2-1 defeat at the hands of the Turks at JMU last night. Perkins ready to go. The first pitch at 7:01 is on the outside corner for strike 1. Perkins likes to work in that fastball, also has a hard-cutting slider. 0-1. There's that 2-seam fastball, just misses off the outer edge for ball 1. Leadoff man Dante Posey for this Newmarket team. Dive into him as the 1-1 fouled off into the ground for strike number 2. Posey making his first appearance against the Tom Sox this season. These two teams have only faced off 1 time so far. Posey from the Catholic University of America, a rising junior there. This being just his 3rd game in a Rebels uniform. He's 0 for 6 at the plate right now. He has scored 3 runs and walked 3 times. Down in the count, 1-2 to Mark Perkins. Here's the pitch. Slider. Really good spot for Mark, but just misses down low, and the count will even at 2.
You can tell he got that right where he wanted it, just didn't get the call. Now the count evens at 2-2.
Defense for the Tom Sox playing straight up against the leadoff man Posey. Perkins works out of the stretch. Here's the 2-2 delivery. Elevated fastball, and it doesn't drop enough to get into the top of the zone. So it'll be a full count here to the leadoff man Posey with Luke Smith on deck. Perkins, his payoff pitch, fastball elevated, swinging bunt right back to Perkins. He bobbles it, throws to first for out number 1. Man, what a crazy play to start the second matchup of the season between these two teams. Couldn't tell if Posey just didn't know it was going to go fair, or whether Perkins just made the play quicker than I thought he did in real time, but nonetheless out number one.
Whether there was a little bit of nerves there or not, it's good to get rid of that one on the first AB.
So Posey goes down on the ground, and now Luke Smith from William & Mary takes the first pitch for strike one. Smith, a rising senior for the Tribe from Fayetteville, New York, was 1 for 3 with 2 strikeouts in that first matchup just a couple weeks ago here at Cho Airport Field. 0-1 pitch swung on and missed by Smith. Good changeup there.
Through 24 games, he has 9 strikeouts, and he's hitting .326 through 46 ABs. That is really solid numbers there for the Rebels.
One of the better hitters in this starting lineup tonight. 0-2 pitch from Perkins. Fastball on the inside corner. Did he go around? No, he did not, says our field umpire. So the count goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Smith with an OPS at 874. Second best on the team in terms of players that have eligible stats. Perkins again, 1-2 pitch. Grounded to shortstop, that's Kyle Edwards. He makes the strong throw to first and consecutive groundouts to begin the night for Perkins.
Batting third, the right fielder, number 4, Jude Drzmecki.
In that game we called against the Lumberjacks, he does not allow a lot of hard hit balls. A lot of ground balls, strikeout pitcher.
A lot of ground balls, weak contact, and can definitely blow that fastball right by you. And now a test in the number 3 man, Jude Drzmecki from St. Andrews Presbyterian College. First pitch to Drzmecki, 2-seam fastball on the outside corner for a strike. Drzmecki, a rising junior from Roanoke, had 2 hits and 2 walks versus the Tom Sox 2 weeks ago. Newmarket came out on top in that one, 3-1. Elevated fastball on the inside part of the plate to even the count at 1 to Drzmecki, who's hitting .284 this season in 95 at-bats. He's also got 19 walks to combine with 17 runs driven in. 1-1, fastball outside, 2-1.
He was definitely the most successful batter in the earlier matchup between these two.
Two and one from Perkins. Fastball just missing on the outside once again. Seems like he's been missing with that fastball a little on the outside part of the plate to start.
Trying to paint the pitch, but just inches off.
So it'll be the second 3-ball count of this first inning for Perkins. Here's the pitch. Changeup catches the top of the zone, and the count will go full. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Second full count. Plate appearance here for the Rebels, working that pitch count up for Perkins.
Payoff pitch is grounded softly to the right side in front of the Tom Sox dugout and fouled. Drzmecki this season at St. Andrews Presbyterian in 38 games hit .303 with 3 homers, 24 RBI. So drew 21 walks. Payoff delivery grounded into right field. That's going to get through for the first hit of the ball game. So 3 ground balls to the first 3 hitters for Perkins, where that third one sneaks through, and the Rebels have a 2-out base runner.
Batting fourth, designated hitter from Florida Southern, number 33, Elrico Riley.
And as you mentioned, your favorite name. Who is it?
Elrico Riley, rising senior at Florida Southern. 2-way player for Newmarket. They have a lot of 2-way players on this team, Gianni. It's likely going to be that we see some of those 2-way guys in both roles tonight.
We got one of our own, Christian Arroyo.
Arroyo not in the starting lineup tonight. Unlikely we see him on the mound either. He pitched on Saturday at Strasburg. First pitch to Riley, grounded left side and foul. Elrico hitting .330 this season in 94 at-bats. He scored 24 runs, has a homer, 14 RBIs, and leads the team with 25 walks. 0-1 slider in the dirt, blocked by Salvi Alvarez. Alternating games between Calvin Alexander. KJ got the start last night in Harrisonburg, so Salvi gets the start tonight. And barring an injury, KJ will start tomorrow's game here against Culpeper. And so on and so forth for the rest of the way. 1-1 fastball. That is in there for strike two. And it really seems like Perkins, his mojo's been getting ahead of these hitters so far. Really only had that one batter so far, Drizmecki, that got ahead in the count.
Spot on, Nate.
Another 2-strike pitch, slider this time for Perkins. He's like that fastball on the 2-strike count so far, but he goes to the chase pitch, and Riley does not chase. Riley, as I mentioned, those are ridiculous numbers, but he does have 39 strikeouts in 94 at-bats.
Perkins looking for his first strikeout, top half of the first.
Been contact for the first 3 hitters, and now another fastball on the outside part of the plate, so a third full count so far this inning for Perkins. And for the Rebels, getting his pitch count up going to be key to getting him out of the game. Both starters last night between Harrisonburg and Charlottesville were able to go deep into the ballgame with how effective they were throwing. First pickoff attempt of the night, Drizmecki gets back in there safely. 3-2 the count to Elrico Riley. Drizmecki the runner at first, 2 away here in the top of the first inning. Full count delivery. Swung on and missed for strike 3. Elrico Riley strikes out for the 40th time this season, and Mark Perkins escapes a 2-out runner on jam. We head to the bottom of the first here in Charlottesville. No score between the Rebels and the Tom Sox. It's Christmas in July here in Charlottesville. Bottom of the first inning between the Rebels and the Tom Sox. Nathan Schwartz, Gianni Maltese with you. Let's get into this Tom Sox lineup, and then Gianni will tell us about the new market starter. For the Tom Sox, Kyle Edwards will lead off. Bryce Martinez will bat second. Derek Williams in that third spot. Henry Ford bats cleanup. Nathan Fink in the 5 spot. David Riley in the 6. Brady Gumpf batting 7th. Salvi Alvarez behind the plate batting 8th. And Sergio Rivera batting 9th. Gianni, let's talk about Mark Hindy, the starter for the Rebels.
Mark Hindy, a senior out of Essex Falls, New Jersey, attends William and Mary. In his last start on July 5th against Waynesboro, not so pretty through 2 innings, allowed 4 hits, 5 earned runs, 3 walks, and 2 strikeouts as Kyle Edwards hits that one right up to Drizmecki for the first out of the bottom of the first.
Kyle been slumping a little bit as of late, had a rough couple days the past 2. Broke the Tom Sox career start record on Sunday in Game 2 of the doubleheader. And then last night had a leadoff single to start off the ball game. One of the 6 hits of the night for Charlottesville, and wound up scoring the lone run for the Tom Sox on a walk from Garrett Spikes. Now Bryce Martinez, who was 0 for 4 last night, takes the first pitch for ball 1. Hindy's 1-0 delivery, fastball tailing off the outer edge. Looks like Hindy's sitting in that low 90s range, 91, 92 with that fastball. And, of course, natural tail being from the left side. 2-0 comes way in on the slider.
For Bryce Martinez versus the Rebels this season, he is 0 for 2 with 1 walk and also 1 hit by pitch. Nearly batting .300 on the season.
3-0 delivery to Martinez, had the red light, and it pays off. A 4-pitch walk for Martinez will put the second man in the inning for the Tom Sox on for the red-hot Derek Williams.
You came up with a nice middle name for Derek Williams.
Derek Clutch Williams, as I now refer to him as, after his game-tying home run in the top of the 9th inning on Saturday in Strasburg.
For the Tom Sox, you got to keep getting base runners on any fashion you can. Nasty pitch there by Hindy.
It was a curveball to start the at-bat to Williams, and Hindy's got to be careful. If he throws that again and elevates it, Williams could send it a long way. He hit a ball really far in Game 2 of the doubleheader on Sunday that just didn't get out in left center. He pops this one up to Drizmecki in right, who makes his second putout of the first inning.
Batting fourth for your Tom Sox, third baseman from the University of Virginia, number 5, Henry Ford.
So Derek Williams, 0 for 1. He missed yesterday's game. But now Henry Ford back into the lineup. He had a double last night, his 5th double of the season.
He's still looking to find his rhythm after that thumb injury, really.
That was his first extra base hit since returning from that injury, which he missed about 3 weeks or so, most of the month of June. Played with the team the first week of the season. He played in 4 games, had a homer, 7 RBI, and 4 doubles, but since has been ice cold, hitting just .250 over 12 games.
And he was red hot right before the injury, Nate.
Exactly, hitting .500, was 8 for 16 as he sends this one into the ground and foul. And it'll put the count at 1 ball and 2 strikes with 2 out here in the bottom of the first. Martinez, the Tom Sox lone base runner, he drew a walk, 4-pitch walk. 1-2, breaking ball grounded up the middle. That is through for the first hit of the night for Charlottesville. Henry Ford, back-to-back games with a hit for him.
Batting fifth for your Tom Sox, designated hitter from Florida Southwestern, number 23.
Henry grounded into the game-ending double play last night on a ground ball just like that one. Hard hit up the middle. It veered a little bit more towards the second base side, and Tyler Borges for the Turks made a phenomenal diving backhanded play, flipped to the shortstop for the first out, who then threw to first for the third and final out of that 9th inning. Bryce Martinez getting a little dance happy over there at second base, nearly gets picked off.
Yeah, I understand you try to mess with the pitcher a little bit, but there was a little bit almost too much. But he got there back in safely, and as you said, Henry Ford's hit was nearly identical to last night, but a better result for Charlottesville, of course.
Now, a big power bat in Nathan Fink up for the Tom Sox. Had his first RBI of the season in Game 2 of the doubleheader. 0-1 fastball, lined foul. So they count quickly 0-2 to the rising sophomore at Florida Southwestern. He spent his freshman season with the Ole Miss Rebels.
In his lone matchup versus the Rebels, he was 1 for 4.
Martinez at second, Ford at first. The 0-2 pitch just foul-tipped. Almost into the glove of Warden behind home plate. As we'll talk about this Rebels defense, you have Warden at the backstop. Posey's at 30, Rosari at short, Sassaman at second, and Lucas is at first. And then left to right in the outfield is Luke Smith, Jackson Kramer, and Jude Drizmecki. Martinez dancing off second again. Another 0-2 pitch is down low for ball 3. No throw. Martinez is going to round third and head home. The toss is in time, and Bryce Martinez's aggression is going to bite him in the back.
For your Tom
Marks
Sox
the first chance with a runner in scoring position. Doesn't necessarily go the way of the Charlottesville Tom Sox there.
Tom Sox would have had runners on second and third with a 2-2 count and 2 out in the bottom of the first, but instead Martinez is caught trying to take an extra 90 feet and get the Tom Sox on the board first. So no score at the end of one. We head to the top of the second right after this. Wild way to end that bottom of the first inning. Johnny, you mentioned to me that Brian Wirth sent Bryce Martinez on that play at the plate.
Little bit of an iffy call there. You want to be aggressive, but he nearly picked up Warden nearly picked up the ball as he was rounding third. That's just a little bit too much of an iffy call, and now you strand the runners in scoring position, and a great opportunity for the Tom Sox in the bottom of the first.
Martinez had stolen third base, and then because the ball went to the left side, kicked off way to the right, Brian Wirth thought that with Martinez's speed, he was going to be able to get there in time and steal a run, but instead, Martinez gunned down at the plate, and no score as we begin the top of the second inning. Jackson Kramer in the batter's box for Newmarket.
Yeah, if you look at his stats, they're way skewed through one game. He is hitting .333 though, through 3 at-bats. A little bit too small of a sample size though.
Kramer, a rising sophomore at Wake Forest, and obviously only has played the one game because he was with his team in Omaha, Nebraska for the College World Series. A lot of Demon Deacons have been drafted over the last couple days. The MLB draft now officially over. They've gone through 20 rounds. Rounds 11 through 20 were earlier this afternoon.
Great results for some of our very own Tom Sox.
Yeah, the Tom Sox had 10 players drafted over those 20 rounds.
The VBL, gateway to the majors.
Exactly. Perkins ahead 1-2 to Kramer. Fastball just catches the outside, but not called by our home plate umpire, and that'll even the count 2-2.
Let's see what he goes to for his put-away pitch here. He definitely probably thought that last one was it, but according to the ump, just missing.
2-2 delivery, goes to the curveball and misses down low to put the count full. Kramer did not appear with the Demon Deacons this season, so likely he'll enter next year as a redshirt freshman rather than a true sophomore.
That extra year of eligibility is crucial.
Absolutely. Payoff pitch, changeup just misses inside for ball 4, and you go back to that 1-2 fastball in the outside corner where he didn't get the call and then comes back after that and throws 2 balls.
It's got to be frustrating for Perkins. First base runner aboard here in the top of the second.
He'll be the second base runner of the game so far for Newmarket. Drizmecki singled with 2 outs in the first inning, and now Noah Lucas, the first baseman, will step into the batter's box. Lucas, a rising junior at West Virginia Tech, cuts through the first pitch, foul tipped into the middle of Alvarez for strike number 1.
This is only the second game here for Lucas.
Yeah, his second game as a Rebel with Newmarket. He was on Woodstock for a large portion of the beginning part of the season as the 0-1 breaking ball catches the bottom of the zone for strike 2.
Interesting call, but we'll take it.
In that one game for Lucas with Newmarket, he was 2 for 4 with an RBI, a walk, and a strikeout. That was yesterday for Lucas.
Quick turnaround for Lucas.
0-2 breaking ball, down low to put the count at 1-2. Lucas was traded from Woodstock to Newmarket just yesterday morning, and that's when it went official into Point Streak. And then immediately played with Newmarket last night. He's hitting .350 in 11 games combined between the two teams this year as Perkins spikes that fastball. 2-2 the count.
He's been able to get ahead of hitters here early and often, but he hasn't been able to find that put-away pitch so far.
Mark's ERA now on the season a little under 1. As there's a cut-on fastball swung on and missed for strike number 3. Second strikeout for Perkins, both in the swinging variety, and that's the first out here in the second.
Carlos Irizarry.
So now Carlos Irizarry, the shortstop for this Rebels team, was 0-4 in the first matchup between these two just 2 weeks ago.
Just hitting above 200 through 18 games played. 7 RBI on the year.
Irizarry was the United East Rookie of the Year with Penn State Harrisburg this year. Was named to the All-Conference first team as well. Had a .364, .418, and .576 slash line with a .994 OPS in 41 games as a true freshman. Fouls this pitch off and the count quickly 0-2. Those stats have not translated to his time in the VBL. This is his 19th game. He's hitting just .203 with the Rebels this season. 3 doubles and 7 RBIs for his campaign. 0-2 pitch from Perkins goes to the slider and gets Irizarry fishing. Casting the bat out to the outside part of the plate was Irizarry. Had no idea where that pitch was, and a 3-pitch K for Perkins.
Whatever was going on in the first, now looking in the second. If not for that call by the ump, he'd be looking at striking out the order so far.
So a leadoff walk, then back-to-back strikeouts brings up the backstop, Garrett Warden. Rising sophomore at West Virginia Tech, fastball outside corner for a strike. Warden this season, .316 average and 38 at-bats. This is his 14th game. He's scored 6 runs and driven in 6 runs. As the 0-1 slider misses to even the count.
OPS of .791, an on-base percentage of just around .450.
Haven't seen a whole lot of Kramer on the base paths yet this season, with we mentioned this being just his second game with Newmarket. So not exactly sure if he's got the green light to go, as there's a weak ground ball to Kyle Edwards at short. He flips to Bryce Martinez for the easy 6-4 putout to end the the top of the second.
Such a smooth play there. It makes it look so easy with Bryce Martinez. Just that slide of the foot, able to get on the bag and get the Tom Sox out of the top of the second. To the bottom of the second we go.
It's a great duo up the middle with Edwards and Martinez. Bottom of the second coming up for the Tom Sox with Fink back at the plate, Wiley and Gumpf after him. Nathan Fink back at the plate as our home plate umpire stops play due to the music still running. So Fink back at the plate after Martinez was caught trying to steal home after the wild pitch. That was in the middle of his at-bat. So Fink had a 2-2 count on him, but he gets a reset, and he swings at this 1-0 delivery, a hard line drive into center. But Jackson Kramer able to come around the baseball and make the catch for the first out.
That's a quick out after a 2-2 count, and then he got a second go at it. Thought he saw his pitch and went straight up to the center fielder. Good play by Kramer, read it perfectly.
And he was able to see about 5 or 6 pitches from Hindi in that first inning, so having already seen those pitches when he got that 1-0 fastball, he knew it was going to be there. He had the timing ready, and he couldn't have hit it really any better, just right at Kramer in center. But moving on now, David Wiley in the batter's box, who's struggling mightily for the Tom Sox as of late. Wiley's average was in the upper 200s for a majority of his first couple weeks with the Tom Sox. It's all the way down to 226 right now as he takes that second pitch for a strike to even the count at 1. David, this is his 20th game with Charlottesville this year as the 1-1 fastball is down low. He's got 12 hits, 12 runs scored, 3 RBIs, and 5 walks. An on-base percentage at .377. 2-1 fastball popped up center field. Kramer once again makes the catch for out number 2. So both Kramer in center and Drizmecki in right have had 2 fly balls apiece. Nothing out in left field yet for Luke Smith. But now Brady Gunk will step into the batter's box for Charlottesville.
Really trying to find his stride. Hasn't really been able to through 13 games here for the Tom Sox. Hitting just .161. On-base percentage of .270.
And it's really tough to get into a groove when you're not getting consistent at-bats. It seems like Brady's playing once every 3 days, or every 4 days for that matter. There was a stretch at one point where he didn't play for about a whole week. As the 0-1 breaking ball, that just misses down low. You mentioned Gianni, 13 games, 161 average. It's 5 hits and 31 at-bats, but did have a single in the matchup between the Rebels and the Tom Sox 2 weeks ago. And the 1-1 fastball inside corner for strike 2. Gumpf hit .244 with Notre Dame this season. 1-2 breaking ball in the dirt.
Hindi looking for his first strikeout of the afternoon.
It's been a lot of contact. 2 fly balls to right and then 2 fly balls to center. Also had the single for Ford. As there's a ground ball right back to Hindi on a 1-hop. He takes his time, flips to Lucas at first base, and that's a 1-2-3, bottom of the second for Mark Hindi. Both Marks looking marvelous on the mound to begin their outings. We head to the top of the third, no score between Newmarket and Charlottesville. We're back here for the top of the third. I want to give a special shout out to Anthony Terry, who sung the national anthem for us tonight. Why is that special, Gianni?
Well, it's just beautiful. It's a beautiful thing for sports lovers because he actually lost in his fantasy league and had to sing, and it was just pitch perfect.
Pitch perfect it was. Definitely was a solid rendition. I've definitely heard a fair share of bad renditions, and that was not bad at all, in all honesty. I thought he did a great job.
And, you know, we have no idea how he was as a basketball player, but we're going to go with he was a standout at William Monroe High School.
Just needs to have a better draft this year, but maybe with him being in last place, he'll get the first pick this season.
That would be fair enough. As Sassman takes first pitch strike.
Drew Sassaman, the second baseman for Newmarket, faces Mark Perkins out for his third inning of work. And now a 1-1 count to begin this at-bat. Sassaman was 0 for 4 with the stolen base in the first meeting between the Rebels and the Tom Sox, hitting just 167 in 54 at-bats this season with Newmarket. 1-1 count from Mark. Jams Sassaman with a fastball on the inside part of the plate. Fouled away past Ford, and now 2 strikes. Another Penn State Harrisburg player in this Newmarket lineup. Sassaman had 22 hits and 62 at-bats this year. That's a .355 average. And another weak ground ball to Kyle Edwards, who's having a nice night to start defensively. His second putout for out number 1.
Third baseman, number 29, Dante Posey.
Make that his third putout. He had the 6-3 in the first, the 6-4 fielder's choice in the second, and then that 6-3 putout right there. And now we're back to the top of the lineup in Dante Posey, who had a weak 2-hopper back to Mark Perkins to begin the ball game. First pitch to Posey, hit a long way to deep left field. That sends Gumpf all the way back to the wall. He leaps and it's off the top of the fence. Gumpf will throw it back into Edwards, the cutoff man. No throw into Martinez at second. It's a 1-out double for Dante Posey, the first extra base hit of tonight's ball game.
Left fielder, number 7, Luke.
That's about as close as it gets to being gone.
Hit the very top of the wall. I thought off the bat that was going to be gone for sure. It drifted a little bit more towards left center than straight down the left field line. But for Posey, that's a really good swing on the first pitch of the at-bat. That's his first extra base hit of the season, his first hit of the season. And he's on second base with 1 away for Luke Smith, who checks his swing. That's a good thing he did because it's called ball 1. Smith a ground out to Edwards, his first time up.
When you commit to a pitch like that, it's such a hard task to pull back, but he did just in time.
He's looking for RBI number 5. 1-0, fastball, called strike on the outside corner. This Newmarket team, 11-20 on the season. They've lost 5 in a row and have only won 1 game in their last 10.
The Tom Sox will continue to not let that stop.
That line drive over the head of the leaping Edwards and into center field. The throw home by Sergio Rivera is on a dime. Alvarez makes the tag, and they gun Posey at the plate.
What a throw by Rivera, and what a tag to stay with it there by Alvarez. Nearly missed him.
Sergio Rivera, haven't really seen his arm a whole lot this season. He's been in center field, he's been in right field, he's been in left field, he's been all over the outfield, but a really good start tonight for him in center. His first chance to make a play, and he makes a huge play to keep this game tied at 0. Now with 2 out in the top of the third.
Now both teams here in this contest early, getting caught at home.
Martinez was tagged out at the plate on the wild pitch. And then Posey right there was out by at least 15 feet. The throw was up the line by Rivera, but Alvarez adjusted, made the play, and was able to apply the tag before Posey got around him. But Smith advances to second on that throw home, and now the number 3 man, Drizmecki, takes the first 2 pitches, and they're both called strikes, so 0-2 the count with 2 away. Perkins giving up 3 hits now through the first 2 2/3. Runner on second, 2 away. 0-2 outside. And Drzemecki already has 17 runs driven in this season, this being his 27th game. Has 2 homers as well.
Big pitch here. 1-2.
1-2, that just misses outside. So an even count now, 2 balls, 2 strikes to Drzemecki, who already has a hit in tonight's ball game, a single into right. Back-to-back hits for Newmarket here in the third, a double for Posey and a single for Smith. Smith leads off of second, back pick. Edwards does not apply the tag. Count remains 2 balls, 2 strikes. Elrico Riley in the on-deck circle for Newmarket should Drzemecki reach. 2-2 delivery from Perkins. That one is lined right to the glove of Derek Williams for out number 3. He was perfectly positioned, and that 6'4" frame helps him out in a big way there. Newmarket threatens. Posey gets thrown out at the plate by Rivera, and the score remains scoreless between Newmarket and Charlottesville as we head to the bottom of the third here on Tom Sox TV.
Return to action tomorrow.
What a song to come out to.
What a song to come out to. One of the better walk-up songs on the team. Salvi Alvarez leads off this bottom of the third inning for Charlottesville. Nathan Schwartz, Gianni Maltese with you. We've had a couple exciting plays at home plate tonight. Both teams have thrown out a runner. One was just a small flip, but another one, a laser of a throw from Sergio Rivera in center field to Alvarez at the plate. And the 0-1 swung on and missed by Salvi for the 0-2 count now. Salvi in the number 8 spot, struggling at the plate this season for Charlottesville. And that is a called strike 3 on the outside corner. Alvarez goes down on strikes for the 9th time this season. His average was at 136 entering that at bat. It's going to tick a little bit lower.
As Hindi does get his first strikeout of the afternoon.
And in the 3-pitch variety is Sergio Rivera, who just made that spectacular throw from center, gets a chance at the plate for the first time tonight. First pitch to Sergio. He lays down a bunt to the left side. That one's a beauty. There's going to be no play at first, and Sergio beats it out. The second hit tonight for Charlottesville, and at this point we shouldn't even be surprised that Sergio is going to try and lay down a bunt on the first pitch he sees.
He's not afraid to, and that's the name of the game for the Tom Sox. As Rivera loves to steal his bases, and that's one of the ways we just continue to find ways to win, is just getting on base.
His first hit against Newmarket this season in now 5 at-bats was 0 for 4 with the strikeout in the game 2 weeks ago. Rivera does not go on the first pitch, and Edwards takes it outside for ball 1. Kyle began his night with a fly out to right field. And Hindi will throw over to first. Rivera doesn't slide, and that play was a lot closer than many people would think. Lucas had a good slap tag on Rivera there.
Amazingly, Sergio Rivera looking for stolen base number 22 if he gets his opportunity to run.
Jumping a little bit at first base. He takes off. Going to have a throw from Warden. It is not in time, and there is stolen base number 22 for Sergio Rivera, the second stolen base of the night for the Tom Sox. So Kyle Edwards ahead 2-0 in the count. Now as a runner in scoring position, Charlottesville had Martinez in scoring position in the first inning.
As they look to capitalize here.
This is technically their first at-bat with a runner in scoring position tonight because that at-bat for Fink was not finalized when Martinez had reached second base. So Edwards now looking to capitalize on a big opportunity. Head in the count 3-0. He has the red light, and it's on the outside corner for strike one. Now a big hitter's count here for Edwards, and he's definitely not afraid to swing the bat in these types of counts. Rivera takes off, and that's another shallow fly ball to right. Rivera's got to race back quickly, and he gets back in time as Drizmecki makes the catch, and Edwards cannot capitalize on that 3-1 count.
Now Martinez, who did reach in his first plate appearance with that walk and then had the stolen base, will look to get a little bit of revenge for how that end of the first inning ended for him.
Tried to score on the stolen base and wild pitch combo, but was tagged out at the plate by the pitcher, Hindi. Rivera remains at second after the bunt single and the stolen base. First pitch to Martinez is up and out for a ball. Bryce entering the game, .294 average, drew his 11th walk of the season, and second against Newmarket in his first plate appearance. 1-0 to Bryce, lined over the batting cage behind the Tom Sox dugout and foul. Charlottesville only mustered one run yesterday, and it came in the top of the first inning. Had 4 runs in the shortened 5-inning game in the second game of the doubleheader on Sunday. They didn't get any runs to cross the plate in game 1 of that doubleheader. There's a weak ground ball into the gap. Rivera's going to round third and go home, and once again, the Tom Sox are thrown out at home plate. Martinez had an infield single. Sergio Rivera goes around third, expecting the throw to go to first, but the shortstop Irizarry never made the throw and then had an easy play to make at the plate.
Now, did you see if he was sent home on that one?
I did not get a good eye on Brian Worth. I had a feeling that he had to have been sent because with knowing it was a ground ball, he would likely have stayed at the third base bag, but you never know. Anything could have happened right there. Maybe a miscommunication between Rivera and Worth.
Saving a run there by Irizarry, not letting it get through the gap.
Tom Sox being a little too aggressive on the base paths tonight. It's cost him a chance at 2 runs, and the score remains tied at 0 as we head at the top of the 4th between Newmarket and Charlottesville on Tom Sox TV. Sergio Rivera tries to stretch his base appearance there as there's a chopper to Henry Ford and a 1-pitch error there for Ford, who's really having some problems making that throw from third to first recently.
You saw he got moved to first, but they had the confidence to bring him back to third, but it kind of comes back to bite him right there.
And really just a weird
Center fielder, number
start to this game, a weird vibe on the field tonight. Just seems like a lot of mental errors are being made tonight on both sides. A lot of
mental lapses.
Yeah, mental lapses, interesting decisions to go from third to home. That we've had 3 runners tagged out at the plate in just the first 3 innings. 1 for Newmarket, 2 for Charlottesville, and now a error on the first pitch thrown in the top of the 4th. And that puts Elrico Riley on second base after the ball goes out of play. And now the first pitch slider to Jackson Kramer is called a strike. The first error tonight by either team. And I believe that's Ford's 3rd throwing error in just the last 3 games. 0-1, that's cut on and missed by Kramer. Back-to-back sliders by Perkins. And Perkins has had his struggles at times so far, but it's that slider that he keeps coming back to.
Whenever something's not going his way, he goes back to that put-away slider. And it's working for him so far tonight.
Wouldn't be surprised to see it again right here. Riley thinks about going off. There's another weak ground ball to Ford at third. This time, he's going to make the throw for out number 1. Took his time, got under control, set his feet, knowing he had plenty of time to make that throw, and right on a beam to Derek Williams.
I think the difference there is he took that extra half a second to make sure his feet were in perfect position to make that throw. And he keeps the runner on second.
At times, we've seen Henry double clutch that throw. It's just something natural that he does when he brings the ball out of his glove, then brings it back in, then brings it back out again to throw. As Riley dancing off a second ground ball off the end of the bat, Alvarez tags out the runner going to first base in Noah Lucas, who was at the plate, and then tries to nab Riley at third. And again, if Ford doesn't block that ball, that could have been another mental error for Charlottesville.
He was nearly right there at third base. There's really no need for the throw there, but Ford's able to keep it in the infield.
So Riley will advance to third on the fielder's choice. And now the first pitch to Carlos Irizarry is in there for strike 1.
Struck out in his first plate appearance.
It was the last strikeout for Perkins, his 3rd of the night. Since then, it's been all contact. 0-1 slider in the dirt in the left-handed batter's box to even the count at 1.
Big stop there by Alvarez. Defensively, have a really good 1-2 combo with Alvarez and, as you mentioned, KJ.
Irizarry, that matters. 7 RBIs this season. Looking for number 8 right here. Check swing, but it's called a strike anyway. And Perkins ahead, 1 ball and 2 strikes. 2 away here in the top of the 4th. Still no score between the Rebels and the Tom Sox in Game 2 of their season series. Newmarket took the first game 2 weeks ago today, 3-1 here at Cho Airport Field. 1-2 from Perkins. Slider cut on and missed for the 4th strikeout tonight for Mark Perkins. And he went back to that slider, something he's been doing all night long.
On cue. He went right back to that slider and is able to escape the early error by Ford.
Perkins threw 4 scoreless and still no score between the Rebels and the Tom Sox. Bottom of the 4th coming up right after this with Williams, Ford, and Fink. Had Christmas music playing all night long. It's Christmas in July here at Cho Airport Field. Nathan Schwartz, Gianni Maltese with you tonight. And Gianni, what a funky game we've had so far.
A little elf told me that this is your favorite of the promo nights.
You know, that little elf told you wrong, because if you know me at all, you know I hate Christmas before Thanksgiving. So this is just hitting that head on. And
mind-boggling for Nathan Schwartz.
Really, just taking no part in it. But I'm willing to put on a brave face as Derek Williams has an even count after cutting through that 1-0 fastball. It's Christmas music in July. It just doesn't make much sense to me. But anyway, 1-1 fastball spiked in the dirt to put the count at 2-1.
Can't disrespect Santa Claus.
Absolutely. I got nothing wrong with the actual holiday. I love the holiday season, just celebrating Christmas after Thanksgiving. I know a lot of people agree with me on that. So having Christmas in July, it's a little bit of just a thinker for me.
Oh, I got to give you a hard time.
Yeah.
I'm on the same wavelength as Derek Williams swings right through that one. Second strikeout for Hindi.
First strikeout tonight for Derek Williams at the plate. He flew out to right his first time up, and now a leadoff K to begin the fourth inning for Hindi, who's having a really good start. Really only had that trouble in the third inning with Sergio Rivera on second base and 2 outs, and then Martinez with the infield single, and he was able to get out of it with that throw to the plate where Rivera did not stop going from second to home. So Henry Ford up for the second time tonight. He singled and was stranded at second base in the first. 0-1 breaking ball, foul tipped to the fence behind home plate. Ford had a double last night. Left center field at Eagle Field at Veterans Memorial Park on the campus at JMU. Takes the 0-2 fastball down low. So 1-2 the count. Nathan Fink in the on-deck circle. He hit the ball hard his first time up.
Beautiful field down there at JMU.
1-2 breaking ball, and Ford goes right through it. Back-to-back Ks for Mark Hindi, his third of the night. And that brings up Nathan Fink with 2 away here in the bottom of the fourth.
Fink looking to avoid letting Hindi strike out the side.
Fink lined out to center field in his first at-bat, takes another big swing there, and misses it for strike number 1. Fink's first at-bat started in the first inning, but then with Martinez being tagged out on the wild pitch advancement attempt, his at-bat reset for the bottom of the second, in which he lined out on the second pitch. Saw the fastball and hit it a long way and hard. We'll see if he can do the same thing on another fastball. He gets one there, but just misses it. Pulled the head to the left side, facing Brian Worth at third base. So a 2-strike count, 2 out here in the bottom of the fourth. The 1-2 pitch from Hindi. Grounded sharply to the shortstop. Irizarry, he bobbles it, and that's going to go down as an E6. It went into the glove on the backhand of Irizarry. He bobbled it on the transfer. And Fink's going to reach on the error.
Right fielder, number 19.
Definitely way different than that run-saving play where they gunned Rivera at home.
Pretty much the same spot. Maybe it hit a little harder than that ball that Martinez hit. So a runner on first, 2 away for David Wiley, whose struggles continued in his first at-bat when he flied out to Jackson Kramer in center. Takes the first pitch fastball for strike 1.
Now an error apiece for both sides.
An error for the third baseman Ford for Charlottesville, and an error for the shortstop Irizarry for Newmarket. Wiley hit .308 in 45 starts, 46 appearances with Wofford this season. As there's a deep fly ball down the right field line, sending Drizmecki all the way back to the corner, but he's able to haul it in for out number 3. Drizmecki robs David Wiley of extra bases, potentially saving a run for the Rebels. And after 4 innings, score remains 0-0 between Newmarket and Charlottesville. Top of the 5th coming up right after this.
Well, it's 90 degrees out.
Sloppy baseball all across the board tonight. We begin the 5th inning here at Show Airport Field. Nathan Schwartz, Gianni Maltese with you. No score. Both teams have had their chances with runners in scoring position. Newmarket with 3 hits. Charlottesville with 3 hits as well. Tom Sox have left 3 runners on base. Newmarket's left 4 on base, 1 on base in each inning. And so now top of the 5th, Perkins back out there. And the first pitch he throws jams the hitter in Garrett Warden, and Perkins will throw to first, and it goes wide. The sloppiness continues. That ball goes into the netting by the Tom Sox bullpen, not out of play. Second error so far tonight for Charlottesville. They'll go down as an E1 in the book. Second straight inning with a throwing error for Charlottesville, and the leadoff man on base for Newmarket.
I was just about to say, too, I was about to intervene and just say how confidently he picked that one up compared to the first one that came right back to him, but the throw was just wild.
And quite frankly, he just rushed it. Had all the time in the world to make that throw. Did not have to throw it as hard as he did. As that ball is popped up, foul territory, right in front of the first base coach's box. Williams loses it, but Martinez is able to come in right behind him and make the play for the first out. So an error, a popped out in foul territory. Now the top of the lineup in Dante Posey up now for Newmarket. Posey 1 for 2 tonight. Grounded out to Perkins to begin the ball game, and then doubled with 1 out in the 3rd, and he was thrown out at home plate by Sergio Rivera on the Luke Smith single.
Fortunate on that error not to let it get out of the field, and he would have advanced to second again on the error. So fortunate to have a runner in scoring position here for the Tom Sox. Ball 1.
First pitch slider there for Perkins. Posey still looking for that first RBI. Had his first hit of the season back in the 3rd inning. 1-0 slider. That's chopped foul right in front of the on-deck circle where Luke Smith is currently residing. Perkins so far, he's thrown 66 pitches through 4 1/3. Had a 23-pitch first inning. ERA entering the game was 1.03 through 17 1/3 innings. 1-1 fastball fouled into the backstop once again. So 1-2 the count. Garrett Warden at first base after the error. And if Perkins makes that throw, this pitch right here could have been the third. That could be the 3rd strike, could be the 3rd out as well, but instead just 1 out and a runner on.
See if he can work out or escape the little bit of a jam here that he kind of created for himself.
1-2 fastball runs in on the hands of Posey. Did not pull the trigger for ball 2. There's some action in the Newmarket bullpen. Nothing quite going yet in the Charlottesville side. Perkins, I believe this is going to be his longest outing of the season, as that slider did not catch the outside corner. Good frame by Alvarez. The count goes full, 3 balls, 2 strikes. He with 1 away in the 5th.
Big full count pitch here upcoming from Perkins.
Here's the full count delivery. Goes back to the slider, and that one is called for strike 3.
That Tom Sox strikeout.
Backwards K for Perkins. He gets the leadoff man Posey for his 5th strikeout of the night and a big second out.
Batting for Newmarket, left fielder number 7, Luke Smith.
So Perkins, now his longest outing of the season officially. At 4 2/3 innings, he went 4 1/3 against Stanton on June 29th, which was his with 2 starts ago. And look what he found. An early birthday present, or a late birthday present, rather, for Mark Perkins, who recently just celebrated a birthday. He gets through 5 scoreless with that comebacker right there. We head to the bottom of the 5th. I'll hand the play-by-play duties over to Gianni Maltese for the rest of the way, as the score remains 0-0 between Newmarket and Charlottesville. We'll be right back right after this.
Leading off for your Tom Sox.
Brady Gump leading things off here for the Tom Sox
Number
in the
27,
bottom of the
Brady
fifth.
Gump.
Had a ground out in his first plate appearance. Hindi still on the mound for the Rebels. First pitch right down the middle, called strike. That one's foul tipped. Quick 0-2 count to start the bottom of the fifth here for Hindi and the Rebels.
And Hindy's been really good for Newmarket, going relatively deep into these games. He's gone at least 4 innings in 5 of his 7 starts this year. So now he's pitching into the 5th inning for the 6th time here in the summer.
Big pitch here. Looks like it's going to get down, and it does. Good diving effort there by Kramer. Able to get down for a leadoff single there for Gump.
It's good to see Brady get a single there. Hardest hit ball we've seen from him in a while, and it would have been a real shame if Kramer was able to slide and make that catch. Just would have been Brady's luck, but he's able to get it down, and it almost got by him, and it could have been at least 2 or 3, but good news for Newmarket. Kramer was able to body it up and keep Gumpf at first base.
It was a good play just to keep it in front of him, really. When he started making that dive, I was like, oh no. First pitch coming, showing bunt there is Alvarez, who struck out in his first plate appearance, struck out looking. Was the first strikeout victim of the afternoon for the Tom Sox batters. Pickoff attempt there. Gump's in there easily, as Lucas still applied the tag just for good measure.
Salvi had his own double of the season and one of his 2 RBIs.
Going again, and that one actually comes up and hits Lucas in the face.
Sloppy baseball here tonight. Hindi, just a routine pickoff attempt. He is the lefty, so he has the leeway of bringing that knee up and then throwing over, and that ball just spiked on him and took a weird hop and hit Lucas. I couldn't tell if it was the upper chest, neck area, or it might have even caught the chin.
Yeah, it seems as if he was holding his chin, and it looks like he was bleeding a little bit because he was holding it. And now the trainer's coming, the coach is coming, and just making sure he's all right. As Gumpf is still on first base. We'll have a little bit of a timeout here, just making sure he's okay, and Alvarez will take his time and talk it over with head coach Lyndon Coleman. Just getting a game plan here, as they, I'm sure, ideally want to get a runner in scoring position here early in this bottom of the fifth. Still looking for the first run of the ball game.
Yeah, especially last night when Charlottesville scored in the first inning and then nothing happened offensively in terms of runs the rest of the way. You were just waiting for somebody to break through. And again, both teams last night had chances with runners in scoring position, but it's the same thing again tonight. They're getting those runners in scoring position, just not able to break through. And Charlottesville, really the only reason they had that run in the first inning yesterday was because Robert Kelly, the starter for Harrisonburg, had 3 consecutive walks after the leadoff single for Kyle Edwards.
If you go back to the top of the first, it really was it was very telling for how the game went with the inning-ending double play by KJ Alexander. I just had a bad feeling that night after that play. I mean, you just don't want to give up those early opportunities, and you want to take advantage of them. And I'm sure right here they're really going to. It's getting late-ish in the game. You want to start taking advantage when those runners are on base.
You're about halfway through. You don't know how long Perkins can go. We already touched on that. It's already his longest outing of the season. Don't know who would be the man warming up for Charlottesville. Jordan Little should be available tonight, and he's been great. There's nobody currently warming up, but in terms of players being available, Jordan Little should be available. Ryan Lynch made his first start of the season last night, and we're still having a delay with Lucas at first base.
And as you said, right on point, right on cue, that is Jordan Little just stretching and tossing. So, Nathan, what have you seen so far by Hindi that has just allowed him to be so successful compared to his season ERA? I mean, you come in looking at that ERA, and it's way different than what we've seen tonight. What are you seeing that's working for him?
Honestly, I think he's just really locating the pitch as well. A lot of soft contact when he's, and especially in this top of the lineup. Edwards, 2 weak fly balls to right field. Derek Williams, a weak fly ball to right. Then he got him to strike out. Really, the damage has been from the bottom of this lineup, mid to bottom at least, with Ford, Rivera, Gumpf, and Martinez having the 4 hits, but Martinez had that soft infield single. So I think he's just been really locating that fastball well, keeping it away from the hitters, whether it's a lefty on the left side of the plate, if it's a righty, that right side of the plate. But his ERA kind of skewed by his last start at Waynesboro. He only went 2 innings, gave up 4 runs, or 5 runs on 4 hits rather.
Gumpf going for second, trying to get a runner in scoring position, and unable to do so as he is caught stealing. Good throw there by Ward and able to gun him down.
And again, just another missed opportunity for Charlottesville. Could have tried the sacrifice bunt with Salvi Alvarez like he did on the first pitch. He come out after the long delay trying to steal a base, maybe catch Horton sleeping, but he was more than ready for it.
And good news on the injury front, Lucas is able to remain at first base.
It's always really tricky getting involved in a play like that when you get hit in the face with a pitch or a batted ball or anything like that. That a little bit unorthodox there.
Payoff pitch, able to find the outside corner, well located, and Alvarez strikes out for a second time.
Center fielder, number 14.
Pretty clear Salvi, really just struggling to get anything going at the plate. Only he's had 3 hits on the season, this being his 11th game.
Sergio Rivera now digging in, had a bunt single in his first at bat. We were just talking about how the luck kind of turned the tide a little bit for Gumpf, and then he got caught stealing. Unfortunate there for the Tom Sox as Rivera takes ball 1.
Yeah, had 2 stolen bases on the season. Hasn't gotten on base a whole lot, though. 270 average.
Pitch 2 comes in, and that is also a ball, as Rivera is able to get ahead of the count early, 2-0. Swings right through that one, makes count 2-1. We love to steal the Tom Sox love to steal their bases. You just got to find ways to get on base. Good opportunity here. Hitters count for Rivera, 3-1.
The Tom Sox have gotten away from that somewhat recently. They were on a tear for the first 2 or 3 weeks of the season in terms of stolen bases, and right now sitting at 97 on the season, entering the game. So with 2 stolen bases tonight, they're at 99. They just need 1 more for 100 on the year. Still second place all time in Tom Sox history in terms of stolen bases in a season. But just the past couple weeks or so, teams have thrown over a lot more. Teams have gotten better at throwing these runners out, and the Tom Sox have had their fair share of difficulty getting runners on base as well.
Another good pitch there by Hindi as he's able to strike out Rivera. 2 straight strikeouts to end the bottom half of the 5th inning. We'll be right back. Score remains 0-0. Newmarket will be batting. Tom Sox TV.
All right, fans. 13, Jordan.
Now coming in and entering the matchup is Jordan Little, who is a little unorthodox in his last outing compared to his
Tom Sox rather, that's just continuing to go out there and shove the baseball. 4 appearances this season. His last one, he went 3 innings, gave up 3 hits, 2 earned runs in that one, which was the first time he's given up more than 2 hits in a game and given up a run at all this season. His first 3 appearances, he combined for 8 innings, only 1 hit allowed, no runs, but it struggled a little bit against Percival in that big comeback win for the Tom Sox last week.
still sitting at an astonishing 1.63 ERA through 11 innings pitched. And as you said, 4 hits throughout the whole season, and 3 of them came in that outing.
Yeah, it was just, I want to say unorthodox, but and in terms of stability, yes, that was different, but that honestly wasn't even that bad of an outing compared to other outings we've seen across the VBL in relief, and it was a longer outing for Little. And you go back, he hasn't thrown a ton of innings collegiately. He's just a rising junior at Virginia Tech, just transferring from ECU. Didn't get a whole lot of innings at East Carolina over his first 2 years there, so he's come in here and thrown at least 2 innings in each of his 4 appearances so far, something that he's not used to doing. It can take a little time to get used to. He had gotten used to it, but then Percival was able to jump on him a little bit on Thursday.
Getting back to this one, Jude Drzmecki, the right fielder, digs in. 1 for 2 with a single and a line out.
Drzmecki.
Hey, Jude. When he strikes out.
Jordan Little's first batter faced.
There's the hardest working girl in show business.
First pitch, strike. Again, the name of the game is getting ahead of batters. Second pitch coming. Good pitch there, able to find the strike zone for a quick 0-2 count to get ahead of Drzmecki.
Let's talk a little bit about Mark Perkins one final time tonight. His final line, he went 5 innings, gave up 3 hits, no runs, crossed the plate. Did have a chance at a run, did the Rebels. Sergio Rivera, we talked about it a little bit earlier, had that throw to make the plate in the 3rd inning. And 1 walk and 5 strikeouts for Perkins as well. Really good outing, his longest of the season, and he tied his season high in strikeouts.
You took the words right out of my mouth. He was about to get that season high, but he had a high pitch count for where he was at, as that one is fouled all the way back up and over the press box. 1-2 count here for Little against Drzmecki.
And the starters for Charlottesville this year haven't gone more than 5 innings. That's something that Lennon Coleman's been doing, is managing the load on all of his pitchers. We have seen some long relief outings for some of these relief guys as well, going into the 3rd and 4th innings of their outings respectively. But the starters, the past couple nights, we've seen them go a little bit longer than usual. We had Ryan Lynch go 5 innings last night, but he was unbelievably dominant last night. There was no reason to take him out before that, and then took him out for pitch count purposes after the 5th inning. Similar story with Perkins tonight.
And called strike. Got him looking.
Tom Sox strikeout was sponsored by Carter Bank and Trust.
Able to get the first out via a strikeout looking for Drzmecki.
Number 3 hitter, first batter you're going to face. Really good result for Little to see him getting the backwards K on the fastball, especially considering he's got one of the 3 hits tonight for Newmarket.
First pitch coming. Able to find the zone.
I just did your job for you. First pitch, get anybody that scared. Anybody.
6 strikeout combined for the Tom Sox pitching staff. That one misses the inside corner. 1-1.
Elrico Riley, 0 for 2 tonight, struck out swinging in the 1st and then reached on an error by Henry Ford in the 4th.
Makes that a 1-2 count. Elrico Riley. Looking to avoid 2 consecutive strikeouts here by Little, and unable to do so. Swings right through that one, and 2 quick strikeouts for Little.
And this is the stuff that we've been seeing from Jordan Little all season long. He's getting back into a groove right here after not pitching in the last 5 days. He's thrown at least 4 strikeouts in each of his 4 appearances. Had 5 in his first appearance back on the 13th of June, then 4 in each of his other 3 appearances, and already threw 2 outs, 2 strikeouts.
He just exudes confidence, and you can tell the way he pitches. First pitch just misses there, inside corner 1-0.
Going to be a great fit in the ACC. Going to be worked out as a potential weekend starter as a transfer coming in from ECU, where he only saw action in relief.
That one also just misses the outside corner as Jackson Kramer is the batter who walked and grounded out in his first 2 plate appearances. Tried to pull back, unable to do so, just awkwardly fouled off the bat there to make it a 2-1 count. Still scoreless here at Cho Airport Field. Good pitch there to even the count at 2. 2s across the board.
2-strike pitch. Little loves to go back to that fastball because he loves to challenge hitters and blow it right by them. Wouldn't be surprised to see that pitch at all right here.
2-2 count. And finds the zone. Comes in and Little strikes out the side with 2 of those coming in strikeout-looking fashion. 8 total strikeouts for the Tom Sox pitching staff. We will be heading towards the bottom of the 6th. Still knotted at 0. Tom Sox TV, Nathan Schwartz, and Gianni Maltese.
Number 4, Kyle Edwards.
Leading things off the Tom Sox is Kyle Edwards. 2 flyouts so far. Talk about good walk-up songs. Hey, baby.
Voted by his teammates as one of the best walk-up songs on the team. You can check out all of our content on TikTok as well at Seville Tom Sox, a new medium for us here at Tom Sox Media.
Going after that one goes foul off to the right side. 0-2 count.
You can catch us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Still not on. I think there is a Threads account, but we haven't used it at all. And then just brand new with TikTok.
Just able to get that one off. And able to get the throw as Lucas gets it in time for the first out in the bottom of the 6th.
The struggles continue for Kyle. 0 for 3 tonight. Was 1 for 4 last night. His average was sitting about 310 or so coming into the weekend. But now is just plummeted all the way down into the 280s, maybe even the 270s after that ground ball out.
Called first pitch strike, as he is doing pretty well so far tonight. Walk, a stolen base, the unfortunate play at home, and a single in the first 2 plate appearances. Swings right through that one, and another quick 0-2 count for Hendy. Martinez taking his time to get back into the batter's box. way high. 1-2 count. You'd love to get on base here with Derek Williams on deck. It's going to be a tough play and able to find the gap. As Irizarry and Posey were unable to get there in time. 2 for 2 with a walk for Martinez thus far.
First baseman, number 20.
And as I mentioned, on cue, Derek Williams now batting. He does have a flyout and a strikeout tonight, but he will look to reverse that right here.
And we called him Derek Clutch Williams the other night. We're going to be calling him that the rest of the season with the way he's produced recently.
We need a run.
Need a run. Nobody better to try and drive a baseball into the gap or just even over the fence than Derek Williams right here.
First pitch ball. 1 out here, runner on first for the Tom Sox. That one's fouled off to even the count at 1.
That foul ball was sponsored by Carter Bank and Trust.
Swings through that one again. That one was a big swing by Williams. 1-2 count. We will see if they send Martinez.
4 home runs this season for Williams, 12 RBIs. OPS north of 1 at this point in the season is just absurd.
And also swung through that one for his second strikeout swinging of the afternoon.
Third baseman, number 5, Henry.
Second strikeout against Williams, the 6th of the night for Hindi, who just continues to dial in and go pitch for pitch with Perkins or Little on the other side. And this is eerily similar to what we saw last night between Ryan Lynch, Hayden Smith for the Tom Sox, and then Robert Kelly for Harrisonburg, who gave up that run in the first, but then really settled in and pitched 6 scoreless after that. Ryan Lynch went 5 innings to start yesterday, and then Hayden Smith threw a scoreless 6th and 7th as well before things unraveled in the bottom of the 8th.
Balk there, as Martinez will be able to advance to second without stealing, and a runner in scoring position for the Tom Sox with 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th. 1-0 count. Big hit by Ford, able to go down the third baseline. Smith goes to grab it, and this time Martinez will reach home, and a stand-up double for Ford, trying to find his rhythm since that thumb injury.
And Henry starting to get a little bit hot at the plate. Had a double last night into the left center field gap. This time he drives it down the left field line for extra bases, and now finally the first mound visit tonight for either squad.
We'll see if this will be the end of the night here for Hindi, or if they're just going to talk things through a little bit, as this is an opportunity to cue some Christmas music in July. Nothing better.
That's where a balk can loom so large, because without the balk, Martinez is still at first, and he's got plenty of speed to be able to go from first to home, not on a ball hit to that left side. So you would have had runners on third and second with Nathan Fink coming up to the plate, who has hit the ball hard tonight but hasn't been able to find the outfield grass. But now you put yourself in a tough position. Tom Sox already now have a run on the board and can keep the train going with a little bit more momentum heading their way.
And the lone RBI of the day belongs to Henry Ford. Another big opportunity here for Nathan Fink, digging in, reaching on an error and a flyout. Swings through that one. 0-1 count. Really trying to find his pitch. Good cuts, unable to make good contact other than that one hard hit ball that resulted in a fly ball. 0-2 count. Able to get that one. And gets through the gap. Henry Ford's rounding third, coming home. The throw comes to first baseman Lucas, and that is another clutch RBI there by Nathan Fink.
Nathan Fink, now he's getting a little bit more time in the lineup. He's starting to find holes in this defense. Right there goes the opposite way. Hard one hopper through the right side past the first baseman Lucas, scoring forward easily, and just like that, from no offense to 2 runs in the 6th inning.
Great to see for the Tom Sox, especially with Little on the mound in the top of the 7th, whenever that time comes. Fouled that one off. David Wiley now digging in 2 flyouts. Believe he fouled that one off as well, and a quick 0-2 count. Wiley really trying to get into a rhythm with limited opportunities at the plate. Big pitch coming, and that one is in the dirt to make that a 1-2 count with Fink on first base. Fouled that one off, staying alive here. Just battling in the batter's box. Another good opportunity here for Wiley.
I could be totally wrong. I could be totally wrong. That's just my gut feeling.
That one's low, evens the count at 2-2.
Wiley would be a big confidence booster for him right here if he's able to get a hit. Talked about his struggles, average now down in the 220s.
As he swings through that one, and the 7th strikeout for Hindi. Not a bad outing at all, but the Tom Sox tack on 2 runs here, take the lead. First runs of the ball game. Score reads 2-0, Tom Sox in the lead. Tom Sox TV, we'll be back for the top of the 7th.
Tom Sox 2, Newmarket 0.
Noah Lucas digging in, starting things off for the top of the 7th as Little remains on the mound. Lucas hit into a fielder's choice and struck out. Alvarez just talking things over with Little real quick.
Haven't dived into Lucas's collegiate season stats so far tonight with West Virginia Tech. He started 44 of 46 games he played in this year. Hit for a 252 average, slugged 497, and got on base at a 317 clip. Hit 10 home runs, drove in 32. 15 walks, struck out 44 times in 163 at-bats. Pretty solid season for Lucas at the plate.
First pitch swinging and missing. That one's way outside and low to even the count at 1-1.
My bad. It's low though.
Not able to get ahead here as the count reads 2-1. That one's just able to find. Painted that pitch outside corner. Evens the count at 2-2.
One of the players are coaching.
Big payoff pitch here for Little. 3 straight strikeouts to start his outing. Make it 4. Nearing double-digit strikeouts as a pitching unit here for the Tom Sox.
Yeah, Perkins with 5, Little with 4. Talked about coming into his outing how he's had at least 4 strikeouts in each of his 4 appearances so far. He's got 4 strikeouts tonight, only through an inning and a third.
Maybe.
Now that brings up Carlos Irizarry.
Irizarry, 2 strikeouts so far as he fouls that one off for strike 1. Able to get ahead of Irizarry here. Almost finds that perfect spot on the inside corner, but just misses. 1-1 count. Tonight just seems like any other night for Jordan Little.
Absolutely no different than what we've seen from him so far. Had that little bit of a blunder that we mentioned in his last start, or last appearance rather. Give up those 2 runs on 3 hits, but back tonight, pretty much untouchable as we saw him in those first 3 appearances.
As long as he keeps that pitch count down, who knows how long we'll get to see him go this afternoon. Big pitch here, 1-2. Fouls that one off, staying alive, fighting in the batter's box there.
The most we've seen from Jordan this season was June the 30th in a 3-1 win here at Joe April Field against Front Royal. He went 4 innings in that game, only gave up 1 hit, picked up the save in that game, struck out 4 batters as well.
Just was able to get contact on that one, fouling that one off, staying alive. Little with some trickery there, getting the ball back into his hand. Tom Sox in the lead here, 2-0, top of the 7th. Just misses there. Perfect pitch there by Little.
And Little was doing his strikeout walk around the mound after that pitch.
He had his little dance just to turn around.
Did a little shoulder shimmy.
Has another opportunity here. 2-2 count.
Moneyball was really good.
And just misses that one again as he did a little bit of the strikeout dance again. Full count here.
Tell the zone is really squeezed tonight. Both of these pitchers struggling to get that hit or miss call. If it seems to be close, it's going to be a ball.
He's weary of giving that strike 3 call when it's close. And that one's nowhere near, as that one will earn a walk. First time getting on base for Irizarry.
First base runner
Catcher, number 28,
for
Warden.
Newmarket since Little has entered the game. The first time they've had a runner reach on a plate other than an error since all the way back in the 3rd inning when Luke Smith singled with 2 outs. Their only other 2 base runners tonight came via, or after the 3rd inning rather, came via the error.
Now Warden digging in, reach on a fielder's choice and an error. First pitch strike there, looking. Good pitch by Little. That's the 2nd time tonight where you kind of think they don't get the call as the pitcher and they end up resulting in a walk. As he swung through that one, really good looking pitch there by Little. 0-2 count early.
And what why he's been so effective, why he's been able to do stuff that other pitchers in the VBL haven't been able to do, is simply just because of the velocity of the pitches he's throwing. A lot of these hitters don't see 95 to 97 with the fastball during their college seasons or at all here in the VBL. So when he brings a 95-mile-an-hour fastball in on your hands, you just don't have that timing and can't pull your hands around quick enough on the baseball to even get it to the right side with an inside-out swing. It just blows right by you.
And another example of what you were talking about against right-handed batters, that outside zone, right when it's close, unable to get it called, but a strikeout there by Little. That time, doesn't get the call, comes back and strikes him out anyways.
Ties his season high with 5 strikeouts, which he had back in his first appearance against Strasburg back on June 13th. He only went 2 innings in that one, but did strike out 5. It's a very similar line here tonight. He had 1 walk in that outing, but 5 strikeouts, and here tonight through an inning and 2/3, 1 walk, 5 strikeouts.
Everyone that has gotten out has been via a strikeout for Little thus far. As that one is a little bit of a popper, Edwards ranging back, and Rivera unable to get there. That one finds the green. Runner in scoring position here for the Rebels.
The announcer's jinx right there by Gianni.
You know, you really come out here and just hope for the best, but that one I'll take responsibility for.
Now a golden opportunity for Newmarket to try and get back into this game. Sassaman with some speed at first base. A gapper could score both the runners right now, and we've already seen Posey lace a double tonight.
1 for 3 on the afternoon, a ground out and a strikeout, other than that double that Nathan Schwartz mentioned. Biggest AB of the night for Little. Just misses that one. Ball 1.
You can tell Little's getting a little bit frustrated with these calls that aren't getting made. He's throwing a lot of these fastballs lower portion of the zone, so already going to have the question there of whether it's at the knees or lower. That time he doesn't get the call, and also with the slider on the outside corner, that call he hasn't gotten a couple times.
It's all about mindset. Got to keep your head straight if you're Little here. Able to find the zone there, right down the middle. 1-1 count, 2 outs.
It took a lot of coordination to get the crowd.
I'm saying, like, it takes a lot of work. These people just don't want to do it. Bro, like, all I'm asking is for you, I know you're not.
Pitch coming in, and able to find the strike zone again as Posey not swinging on both those pitches right downtown. Crucial at bat here in terms of the game. 2-0. Runners on first and second for the Rebels. Big pitch coming for Little. As he's able to get him to swing through it. As that is strikeout number 11 for the Tom Sox and career strikeout number 6 for Little to end the top of the 7th. We head to the bottom of the 8th. Still zeros on the board for the Rebels, but 2-0 Tom Sox in the lead. Tom Sox TV. We'll be right back.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to get Leading off the box
Caden
for your
Erder
Tom
now
Sox.
enters the game for the Rebels,
Left fielder.
going over Hindy's phenomenal night, really.
Jump.
Through 6 innings pitched, allowed 7 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 walk, and 7 Ks.
And then now for Caden Erder, the new arm, making his first appearance this summer with Newmarket, coming from Penn State Harrisburg. He was a true freshman this past season. The Aldie, Virginia native. Made 10 appearances with Harrisburg, a 1-0 record in 11 1/3 innings pitched. Gave up 7 earned runs to the tune of a 5.56 ERA.
Brady Gump now batting. Takes that ball to even the count at 1-1. Was caught stealing on his single in his last plate appearance and also has grounded out. Not able to get good wood on that one as Lucas comes in and is able to make the play for the first out of the bottom of the 7th.
Catcher number 18, Salvi.
Now Salvi Alvarez coming to the plate for the Tom Sox.
The amazing walk-up song.
0 for 2 tonight with 2 Ks. Had a chance for a sacrifice bunt back in his last at-bat in the 5th. Squared the bunt on the first pitch. Then we had the couple pickoff attempts with then we had the injury delay with Lucas at first base. Then coming back for the at-bat. First pitch, Brady Gump takes off. And you alluded to that, caught stealing. And then that changed the whole nature of the at-bat. Alvarez, no reason to square around anymore. And he went down going swinging.
On 3 pitches. Able to find the gap there is Salvi Alvarez. Gets on base for the first time tonight.
Sergio.
1 out, runner on first for the Tom Sox as Rivera digs in. Bunt single, had a stolen base, and has also struck out.
And for Salvi, it seems like it's just been forever for him since we've seen him get a base knock. His first game with the Tom Sox, he had a triple. Then he had a hit in his second game with the Tom Sox, in his 4th game with the Tom Sox. But that's his first hit since June 27th, ironically against Newmarket. So he hadn't had a hit in the past 2 weeks. And going to count up the at-bats here.
That one's in the dirt. Salvi's able to get into second on the wild pitch.
So in those past 2 weeks, he was 0 for his last 12 since that Newmarket game, up until that base knock right there, which brought him out of the funk.
It's good to see. He's so defensively sound at catcher. And just like that, another runner in scoring position for the Tom Sox. 1-0 count, pitch coming. Low again, 2-0 count.
It's the first time we've seen Salvi swipe a bag this season as well.
A little bit of an early jam for Erder. Swings through that one. Makes that a 2-1 count. Rivera still ahead.
That's funny if you had that video. He actually said that to me.
Just called strike on the outside corner on Rivera. So not only does Alvarez get a single for the first time in over 2 weeks, he's also able to get a stolen base. 2-2 count, big pitch. High. Rivera's able to work himself into a full count.
It's not something you see Sergio do a whole lot, because usually a lot of the time he's squaring the bunt or just trying to move runners over in some way, shape, or form early in the count with a hit and run or something like that. You don't really see him get the chance to work the count.
We'll see what he can do here as the payoff pitch comes in and is high. Runners on first and second for the Tom Sox, and Rivera reaches base for the second time today.
But when he is able to work the count, it usually ends in a walk. That's his 13th walk this season, and this being his 24th game. And now Abebe plays as Kyle Edwards steps up for the 4th time tonight.
Edwards will look to do some damage here. Good opportunity for him to get going. First pitch comes in. Just finds the outside corner for a quick 0-1 count. That one's in the dirt. Rivera's going to second. Good throw to second. But he's in there safely as the tag missed Rivera's hand, and Alvarez also is able to reach third.
The advancement on the wild pitch, it didn't really get that far away from Warden behind the plate. Kind of tucked in under him, under his chest protector, but Alvarez and Rivera both have a ton of speed, and now Edwards and Martinez, top two bats in the lineup, get a chance to bring him in.
And with that pitch, also crucial, much harder to get a double play here if you are Erder, with no runner on first.
You almost consider, if Kyle wasn't in a bit of a funk right now, you would consider putting him on and then going for the double play that way.
A little frustrated there as he sees strike two called. 2-2 count, 1 out. Oh for 3, trying to get on base for the first time. Huge opportunity for him here. Good eye there to make that a full count. Second consecutive full count Erder has worked himself into. Big pitch here coming in, and Edwards gets it down. Alvarez is forced to have to go home. Good play there by Posey. And he's out. Edwards is now at first on the force. Alvarez is out for the second out of the bottom of the seventh. A little bit of a funky play there, but good heads-up play by Posey and then Warden to make sure they applied the tag and got the out.
And once again, just bad base running by the Tom Sox. No reason for Salvi Alvarez to take off towards home plate there on a weak ground ball to third that came right to Posey at the bag. And it seems like Salvi kind of hesitated and took a couple shuffle steps toward home, and then it just got caught frozen, and he had to make one move, either get tagged out right at third.
Edwards going to second. Rivera has a chance to come home. Throws high, he gets home. Make that 3-0 Tom Sox as Edwards also easily gets into third base. That's the risk you always take throwing to second when there's a runner on third. Now, Edwards is at third, but the damage is already done. Hot bat at the plate, Bryce Martinez, as he flies that one up. He's reached base all 3 times. This time will be unable to do so as Kramer gets under that one and is able to make the play. Tom Sox tack on another and are in the lead 3-0. We'll be back, Tom Sox TV, for the top of the 8th. Jordan Little still on the mound for the Tom Sox in the top of the 8th here. Luke Smith now digging in, has grounded out twice and has had a single, but was able to get to second on the throw, which resulted in the play at home where Rivera was able to tag him at home. And Newmarket has still been unable to tack on any runs. Squaring bunt for his first pitch there. 0-1 count, fouled that one off.
Smith didn't get a ton of at-bats this year with William and Mary, just 27 of them. Only had 5 hits in those 27 at-bats, 185 average. Did drive in 5 runs, but it's been a different story for him in the VBL this season. 326 average entering the game, this being his 25th game of the season, and he's 1 for 3 tonight.
0-1 count, just misses on the outside corner. Makes count 1-1.
The lone batter that hasn't faced Jordan Little so far tonight.
Outside again to make the count 2-1. We'll see the leash Lyndon Coleman has on Little. We'll see how far he gets to go. Looking solid right now still. Two-one count coming. Able to find the inside corner. He's really painting his pitches tonight.
Absolutely, and that's something he's been doing all season long. When you go back and look at all of his other appearances, it's been consistent dotting up that fastball, because if you can get good timing on that fastball and he leaves it in a bad spot, it's going to get hit really hard off the bat, and it's got a chance to go a long way. So the fact that he's able to locate, he's really only that 2-pitch guy, fastball and slider, but it's got so much velocity on it and hard-cutting movement with that slider that it's nearly impossible to see out of the hand.
Big full count to start the top of the 8th. Payoff pitch comes, and he strikes Smith out.
That Tom Sox strikeout was brought to you by Carter Bank and Trust.
12th strikeout by the Tom Sox pitching staff. It's inevitable.
Really, I mean, 7 outs tonight for Jordan Little. All 7 have come via the strikeout. He gave up the walk, gave up the single, the little bloop shot into center field. But other than those 2 pitches, he's been practically unhittable all night long.
It's the only way you can put it. Now Jude Drzemecki. A single, a line out, and a strikeout as he watches ball 1 pass by. That one's fouled away. Evens the count at 1-1.
That foul ball sponsored by Taylor's Auto Body.
Only one base runner has been able to get on so far against Little, and a beautiful pitch there to make it a 1-2 count. He's cruising along so far. Big pitch. Able to get contact. Rivera comes in on it and is able to make the play easily.
That ends the streak for Jordan Little, his first out recorded tonight that hasn't been via the strikeout.
Number 33.
Well said,
It's unacceptable.
It really is. How dare you get an out and not be a strikeout?
If I'm Lyndon Coleman, I'm going to their bullpen right now and making a change.
Well, Garcia was warming up. 2 outs. That one's low. Ball 1. As Elrico Riley, now the batter, reached on an error and has struck out swinging twice. Awkwardly swings through that one to make it 1-1, evens the count.
Interesting note from the MLB draft, Lyndon Coleman is the head coach at Pasco Hernando State College, and he had one of his pitchers at Pasco Hernando drafted earlier today. Che Yeager was drafted 364th overall in the 12th round by the Toronto Blue Jays. So a good day for the Pasco Hernando program. And so I'm sure Lyndon Coleman's feeling really good that he's had really solid pitching tonight from Perkins and Little, and also had one of his Pasco guys go in the draft.
Well, I think it's okay because Little did get another strikeout, so we'll let it slide that there was a fly out in there. But another strikeout for Little, gets through the inning unharmed. Going to the bottom of the 8th, 3-0 Tom Sox TV.
final line for Caden Erder tonight. Goes an inning, just the bottom of the 7th, gives up one unearned run on one hit, did walk a batter and struck out nobody, as Elrico Riley will go from the DH spot to the mound for Newmarket.
Leading off the bottom of the 8th for your Tom Sock.
Elrico Riley on the day as a batter. Struck out 3 times and had a flyout. Now he will be pitching for the Rebels. Hot shot, Derek Clutch Williams now batting in the bottom of the 8th for the Tom Sox. Hasn't necessarily been his night so far. Flyout and 2 strikeouts.
Finally, an attire I can get behind.
Fast velo on that one, but ball 1 here to start things off in the bottom of the 8th. Williams swings through that one. 1-1 count.
Looking at Elrico's stats this season, he's been really solid on the mound for Newmarket. 6 appearances, 6 2/3 innings, only 1 hit allowed, no runs, 1 walk to 13 strikeouts. Opponents only hitting at a 0.48 average against him right now. And that ERA triple zeros as well.
That one's fouled off. The Rebels are putting in their reliever just to give him a chance to get a shot to come back in the top of the 9th. Want to keep it as close as possible. 1-2 count here on Williams. That one's low for ball 2. 2-2 count.
Oh, wait, yeah. Wait.
Big pitch coming here. Williams able to get something on it. Posey is able to get it in time to Lucas for a routine 5-3 ground out.
And now we've got a pinch hitter here for the Tom Sox. Henry Ford out of the baseball game. And Connor Hinks will step in and pinch hit for Ford. Maybe foreshadowing a defensive effort to put Hinks at third base and take Henry Ford out with his struggles at third base recently.
Really a safe call there for the top half of the 9th inning there by head coach Lennon Coleman. First pitch, strike looking. Some defensive changes definitely coming here for the Tom Sox in the top of the 9th as Arroyo is now on the on-deck circle. 0-2 count. Hinks trying to stay alive here. And he does so, fouls that one off. Count remains 0-2 with 1 out. So no matter what, Arroyo will get his shot.
Connor was one of the hotter hitters in the Tom Sox lineup last night. He was 2 for 3 with a walk, 0 for 4 in that first game against Newmarket this season.
Did he go around? No, he did not. 1-2. Way to hold up there for Connor Hinks. We'll see what pitch he dials up here. Able to get him swinging. Awkward swing there, but able to get him out for out number 2 as Arroyo now digs in for his first plate appearance, pinch hitting.
That's been what Riley's been able to do at his best so far on the mound this season. That's just get the punch out. Strikeout number 14 for him this season through now 7 1/3 innings. And that's up there with Felix Bautista of the Baltimore Orioles for the amount of Ks per 9 he's having. Felix for the Orioles averaging over 18 strikeouts per 9 innings, and Riley on pace for a similar number.
Leave it to Nathan Schwartz to connect it to the Baltimore Orioles.
I will always do that. I was talking about Adley Rutschman in the home run derby last
Who sold the
night.
dream? No, actually, he had a great performance. It really wasn't his fault why he got out of that one.
I mean, anytime as a switch hitter you hit from both sides of the plate in the home run derby, that deserves some applause within itself.
Definitely deserves some recognition. Two-0 count here on Arroyo. Bases are empty. Able to find the zone to make it a 2-1 count with 2 outs. Just missing there on the inside corner. Hitters count here for Arroyo. We'll see which pitch he leans on to try to keep this AB going rather than issuing a walk. Arroyo swings throughout that one, and it is a full count.
That was crazy. That was, you're doing that again, right?
Good pitch by Riley, giving himself another chance to get Arroyo out.
I was like, oh wait, but I remember that. That was doing fun. It was hilarious to watch.
They're the runners.
And Arroyo strikes out as well as Elrico Riley switches from the DH spot, comes in and pitches, and is able to strike out 2, limiting the harm done as the top of the 9th. That's where we'll be heading. Newmarket will have their last chance to bat. Tom Sox TV. Some defensive changes here for the Tom Sox as Jordan Little still remains on the mound. Garrett Spikes will be the left fielder. Rivera staying in center field. Hollis Porter will be the right fielder. And Connor Hinks comes in at third to relieve Henry Ford of his duties for the night. Everything else remains the same here for the Tom Sox, looking to close this one out as it's 3-0.
Now, you already saw a foreshadowing of the defensive changes with Connor Hanks coming in to bat for Henry Ford, who had a really good night at the plate, but obviously in the 9th inning, defense is going to be more important than anything when you're up by only 3 runs. Even with Jordan Little on the mound, you never know when somebody could give up a couple runs. So make sure you get your best defenders in there. You put some of your better defensive outfielders in the corners as well, and cover all your bases before getting these final 3 outs.
Leading off the top of the 9th.
Jackson Kramer now batting, who's walked, struck out, and grounded out. First pitch coming, and swings right through that one for an 0-1 count to start the top of the 9th. Tom Sox looking to close this one out and start a new winning streak of their own. Perfectly placed pitch there for getting ahead of him early. 0-2 here. Big pitch here. Did he go? It doesn't matter. Strikeout for Jordan Little.
9 strikeouts tonight for Jordan. This is just getting ridiculous.
First baseman
I mean,
number 20,
what he's been able to do
Lucas.
tonight on the mound is just simply unbelievable. That we're seeing now. He threw 3 1/3, and the only time somebody hasn't struck out was that fly out by Drizmecki in the 8th.
First pitch of the AB coming, just missing the inside corner. Makes count 1-0. Beautiful night for baseball here. Christmas in July. Looking to finish in strong fashion here is Little. He gets behind 2-0 on Noah Lucas, who has struck out twice and had a fielder's choice. That one also is missing. 3-0. Big pitch not to lose him here. Able to find the zone. Still a hitter's count, but 3-1. I know we've said it, and we've said it enough, but it's just incredible what we've seen from this pitching staff tonight for the Tom Sox. Fouls that one off. Full count. Little has worked himself back into the count.
And Noah Lucas only drawn 2 walks this season, this being now his 24th at-bat of his young season. But Little, with his strikeout stuff tonight, could either go to that fastball or that slider, and I wouldn't question him going with either of those pitches. Both he's been throwing for a ton of strikes tonight, painting the corners, changing the eye level, really going anywhere in the zone to get these hitters, and this could be strikeout number 10 for him.
Going for double digits here, full count, and able to get it. Double-digit strikeouts for Jordan Little. Carlos Irizarry now digging in.
Shortstop number 26,
2 strikeouts and a walk. The last out and the last chance here for the Rebels. Able to find the outside corner to make the count 0-1. Getting ahead of the possible last batter here, Irizarry. That one's also called a strike right in the same exact spot. 0-2 count, 2 outs.
Just 1 pitch away from a Tom Sox win. It would be number 19 on the season.
Trying to remain in first place. That one pretty much the same identical spot. Called the ball. 1-2 count. And like I said, Charlottesville will be looking to start a winning streak of their own as they're trying to keep pace with Strasburg Express in the battle of first place. That one bounces in to make the count 2-2.
Charlottesville and Strasburg separated by just a few percentage points in terms of win percentage. Just .012 percentage points.
That's incredible. 2s across the board, and that one is high. Another full count for Little.
Charlottesville with a .667 win percentage, Strasburg .655, but they are tied in terms of games in first place.
Could be the final pitch, and it is Jordan Little, strikeout number 11, as that one will be a Charlottesville Tom Sox victory on Christmas in July. Final score, 3-0.
Second strikeout, second shutout of the season this season for Charlottesville. And you look at what the pitching staff was able to do tonight. Mark Perkins, 5 innings, 3 hits, no runs allowed, 1 walk to 5 strikeouts. And then Jordan Little, my goodness, have a night. Ties his season high in innings pitched with 4, only gives up 1 hit, no runs, only the 1 walk, and 11 strikeouts. He only recorded 12 outs, everybody. 11 of them were via the strikeout. He retired 7 in a row to end his outing. He picks up the win tonight. He moves to 1-0 on the season, and it'll be Mark Hindy getting the loss. He goes to 2-2. A quick game, a little over 2 hours, and if it's going to be a low-scoring game, I want it to go by quick, and that's what we got tonight. It was Christmas in July. It was Host Family Appreciation Night. Just a really well-rounded game by the Tom Sox and the fan base. We had a great crowd tonight. Just a really awesome performance by the Tom Sox this evening.
Great attendance and couldn't go any better of an outing pitching-wise. 9 scoreless innings, and as you said, the second shutout on the year for the Charlottesville Tom Sox. And that'll be it for Tom Sox TV. I'm Gianni Maltese, joined by
Nathan Schwartz.
Thank you for listening, and have a great night.